Headlines are designed to trigger emotion. Most financial headlines are designed to make you feel something immediately. Happy Thursday, everybody. Today is June 18th, 2026, and this is your Friday planning video a day early. With markets closed tomorrow for the Juneteenth holiday, I wanted to send this video out before then. One of the most important things investors can understand is that financial headlines are often designed to create emotional reactions, not perspective, not patience, not long-term discipline, emotion, because emotionally charged headlines attract attention. And the challenge is that when people consume emotionally charged information consistently, they often begin making emotionally charged financial decisions. You see this constantly in market coverage. Markets at a critical turning point. Investors should prepare immediately. Everything must be changing. This could be the start of something much bigger. And after hearing enough of those messages repeatedly, people naturally begin feeling uneasy, even if nothing in their actual financial life is materially changed. I had a conversation recently with someone who said every headline makes it sound like something major is about to happen. And honestly, that observation is 100% correct because urgency captures attention. Calm does not. You'll rarely see headlines that say, continue following your long-term plan, remain disciplined, stay patient through uncertainty. These messages don't generate emotional intensity. They don't sell. But emotionally intense headlines can quietly distort perspective. And over time, people begin confusing emotional urgency with financial importance. Those are not the same thing. A headline can feel urgent without being relevant to your long-term plan. That distinction matters enormously because successful long-term planning is usually far less emotional than people expect. It's often repetitive, it's disciplined, it's measured, it's steady, and honestly, it can feel boring compared to the nonstop drama of financial media. But boring consistency is often exactly what creates long-term results. One of the things I think people underestimate is how much repeated exposure to emotional messaging affects their confidence. Even disciplined investors can slowly begin questioning themselves after months of hearing constant warnings, predictions, fears. Eventually, people start asking, what if I'm missing something? What if everyone else sees something that I do not? And what if I should be changing direction? But often nothing fundamentally has actually changed. Only the emotional tone surrounding the environment has changed. That's why perspective becomes such an important skill financially. Perspective allows you to separate temporary emotion from long-term reality. Perspective allows you to pause before reacting. Perspective allows you to ask, does this actually change my goals, my timeline, or my long-term direction? Because many times the honest answer is no. And that's important. A well-built financial plan is designed with uncertainty in mind. It already assumes that markets are going to fluctuate, headlines are going to change, economies will go through cycles, and periods of fear will occur. That's normal. It's not unusual, it's normal, which means uncertainty itself is not automatically a signal to abandon discipline. I think one of the greatest advantages long-term investors develop is emotional steadiness, not emotional perfection. No one stays perfectly calm all the time, but steady investors learn how to avoid making permanent decisions based on temporary emotions. And that skill becomes incredibly valuable during uncertain environments, especially today where information moves faster than ever. Because if someone changes direction every time headlines become emotionally intense, consistency eventually disappears. And without consistency, long-term planning becomes almost impossible. Now, of course, real changes sometimes do require adjustments. If goals change, if income changes, if retirement timelines shift, if life circumstances materially evolve, then your plan may absolutely need to adapt. But those are structural changes, not emotional reactions to dramatic headlines. And understanding the difference between those two things is incredibly important. As we head into the heart of the summer, markets will continue to give us news stories, new fears, new forecasts, new reasons why this time is different. That will never stop. But your success financially will not come from perfectly reacting to every emotional headline. It will come from staying grounded enough to maintain perspective while the headlines continue changing around you. Because long-term discipline is often less about predicting perfectly and more about remaining emotionally steady through uncertainty. Emotional headlines are temporary. Long-term discipline is what creates lasting results. Have a great long weekend. We'll see you soon.